Shalom Akim, Wa'akwathiam. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakudash. I'd like to proceed this lesson with giving double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who do well and teach well, man. Without further ado, I'm going to get into this, man. This is, I just searched this up, big sports events happening now, man. And it reads right here, as of mid-June 2026, major sporting events in action include the 2026 Stanley Cup Finals, the 24 hours of Le Mans endurance race, and ongoing MLB regular season games. And they also got the World Cup. They got the World Cup right now. They got, hockey going on right now, golf, all types of, events, man. And what is this going into, man? This is going into bread and circus, man. And I searched it up, to further edify, to get the meaning, man. And I break it down. And it reads right here, bread and circuses, and in Latin this is panem et circenses, is a political strategy of superficial appeasement, man. A political strategy, man. It says right here, it refers to a government maintaining public approval not through sound policy. I'm read it again. It refers to a government maintaining public approval not through sound policy, but by distracting the masses with entertainment and satisfying their most basic needs, ultimately encouraging political apathy and the neglect of civil duties. Let me get this precept real quick. The book of Romans chapter 12 verse 2, and it reads, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. We can't be conformed to this world and to what this world feeds us, man. 1 John chapter 2 verse 15, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. These things are folly, man. This is all carnal. This is all carnal things, man. These are things that don't matter. Like it says right here, it says it refers to a government maintaining public approval not through sound policy, but by distracting the masses with entertainment and satisfying the most basic needs, ultimately encouraging political apathy and the neglect of civil duties. Let's see where it originated at, man. Historical origin. The phrase was coined by the Roman poet Juvenal in his satires written around the late 1st to early 2nd century CE. Juvenal used it to criticize the general populace, lamenting how everyday Romans had given up their historical rights and civic responsibilities in exchange for free gain and lavish entertainment at venues like the Colosseum. What's the the modern day Colosseum, man? I'm gonna just search that up. Modern day Colosseum. Look, that's the spirit, man. In our modern era, the physical equivalents of the Roman Colosseum are gigantic sports stadiums and arenas. See, and look at the shape of it, man. These are the, that's like a baseball, it can be the baseball field, soccer field, they're all, look at this, they're all made in structures like this, basically showing you the modern day Colosseums, man. Let's go back to this, though. It says, in our modern era, the physical equivalents of the Roman Colosseum are gigantic sports stadiums and arenas. They serve the exact same civic purpose, hosting large-scale public entertainment to unite the masses with tiered seating, luxury boxes, and tiered ticketing based on social and economic status. You know, they have like different tickets for like, for higher class people and lower class people. You know, they got the front seats. You know, they got those little venues where you can get a room, a private room. You know, and that's for like more wealthy people, man. Showing you that this is the modern day Coliseum, man. This is right here, Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, USA. You know, all these, man. You know, don't want to go too much into that, but you get the point. You know, the modern day Coliseum are these arenas, man. And you know, they get what the White House is doing, man. White House UFC event. Let's see. It says, this is from USA Today, and it reads, UFC White House updates fight time, weather, and UFC Freedom 250 News today. You know, they're saying that there's going to be a delay in it. But this is what they got going on, look. Let me see if I can get like a picture of it. Play this video real quick. This fair use, you know. Fair use. Let's see, wait for that to pass by.
Match might be one of the more unusual events in White House history, but it's not surprising for President Donald Trump, who has a long history with the UFC and with combat sports in general, having hosted boxing matches at his Atlantic City casinos over the years. The president likes to project strength, and the UFC really plays into that image, but it's also something that his critics have been quick to pounce on, saying that his aggressive style often goes too far. You bringing the octagon to the White House really epitomizes everything that people both love and loathe about Trump, and it's also symbolic of this pugilistic political moment that we're in America, one that seems to be getting more contentious by the day.
At Cox,
And you see, you know, these things are meant to distract the people of what's really going on, man. You know, they did, Israel's bombing Lebanon right now. You know, 5 killed as Israel hits South Lebanon, issues forced displacement orders. You know, we got the U.S. attacking Iran. You know, Iran attacking attacks U.S. bases, man. It says right here, in June 2026, the U.S. and Iran traded heavy retaliatory fire across the Middle East. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps launched waves of ballistic missiles and drones targeting several U.S. facilities in the Gulf region, including bases in Kuwait, Bahrain, and Jordan. These strikes followed U.S. and Israeli operations near the Strait of Hormuz, which were launched after a U.S. Apache helicopter was downed by Iran. Man, see, y'all niggas don't know what's going on because y'all too busy, being entertained by bread and circus, man. By these sports events, this folly ass sports events, man. It says the targeted American sites across the Middle East include Kuwait, Ali Al Salam and Ahmed Al Jabir air bases, Bahrain, Sheikh Issa Air Base, and the headquarters of the U.S. 5th Fleet, Jordan, Al Azraq Air Base, Mawaf Al Salti, In Qatar, Al Udeid Air Base targeted in a separate wave, while the IRGC claimed extensive destruction of the facilities and aircraft. U.S. officials reported no significant damage or casualties in the initial waves. And what are we supposed to be doing, man? Let me get this preset, man. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 33, and I'll start at verse 1. It reads, "Again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them," and this talking about the Israelites, speaking of, hey, this is basically for the Israelites, man, for the elect. And it says, "Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon the land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast, and say for the watchman, if he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people." And this is what the servants, the prophets are doing, man. The apostles and elders going on down, we're blowing the trumpet and warning these people of what's to come, man. The prophets, man, telling you of a vision that's coming, man. That, hey, the brothers have been having dreams and stuff, man. The book of Joel, the Lord has poured that spirit out onto our people, and everybody on earth, man, of what's to come, man. Of a sword and destruction, man. Of a time like never before. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. People going against each other, neighbors spoiling, neighbors going, against neighbor, going for their food, because there's gonna be a civil war, man. And we're telling you of these things, man, and to be hip, and to be, focused on prophecy, man. And it says right here, verse 4. I'll start at 3. "If when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people, then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head." If we're telling you what's happening, man, but if you don't want to take heed, that's on you. We did our job. Verse 5, "He heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning, his blood shall be upon him. But he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul. But if the watchman see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at the watchman's hand. So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel." The house of Israel, which is the 12 tribes of Israel, man, starting with you so-called Negroes, going all the way down to the so-called Mexicans, man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, and Native Americans, which are the true chosen holy people of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man, of the Most High. The Bible is our book, man. Verse 7, "So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore thou shalt hear the word at my mouth and warn them from me." "When I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, they shall surely die. If thou dost not speak to warn the wicked from his way, that wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand." But basically, the point is, hey, we're being watchmen to the house of Israel, man, and showing you and telling you what's coming, man. Don't worry about, this folly, these bread and circuses, all this, all these sports events going on, man, because, hey, there's bigger things happening behind the scenes, and we're telling you, man. These niggas over here trying to, distract the masses, as it said right here, man. It refers to a government maintaining public approval not through sound policy, but by distracting the masses with entertainment and satisfying their most basic needs. And this is what's happening right now, man. This is the book of Colossians chapter 3, verse 10. "Set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth," man. We got to worry about, hey, making it out of here, man. Not being in tune with this world, man, because, hey, we are not of the world, man. Just as Yahweh Hashem Yahushua said, man, if we were for the world will love us, but the world hates us, man, because we speak the truth. But with that, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Mukakwadash. hope this lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect and to you brothers and sisters out there, man. You know, hey, we got to keep pushing the faith, keep enduring until the end, man. You know, be focused on prophecy, man. Be focused on, on seeing what's happening, man. You know, fighting the desires of the flesh every day, man. From the moment you wake up in the morning, giving thanks to Yahweh Shem Yahshai until you go back down to sleep, man. You know. But with that, I hope this lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect. I'd like to give our praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Makakodash, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahshai Brakatham, Abba.